Hello guys, and I think you can tell a lot about a country and its people by the way they treat prisoners of war. I'm sure those of you who follow the channel remember I've shared recently a story how Ukrainians organized a concert teached carol singing and Ukrainian language Russian prisoners of war. I was a bit puzzled to observe that, but definitely it is better than learning how Russians treat Ukrainian prisoners of war after their return. 230 Ukrainians yesterday returned back, and this is a victory, same as burning Su-34 in Chelyabinsk and fires in Crimea and Moscow. Let me tell you more about this from the ordinary Ukrainian perspective in the video. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight together against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status, hit notification button and know I love you very much and all Ukraine is super grateful for the support that we feel daily. So yesterday and even today, all of my pages on Twitter, on Facebook are full with very emotional photos of Ukrainian prisoners of war, 230 of them returned back to the country. It was a very long period of negotiations because before this exchange, it took really long and it is always extremely emotional. And it's difficult to watch these photos because you can definitely witness their extremely complicated psychological state, the way they look, definitely suffering from malnutrition. And if you compare to the way Ukrainians treat Russian prisoners of war, you see huge civilizational difference in the way we treat human life. It's always bad to make such exchanges with Russia, but it is necessary. We always give more Russian prisoners than we get Ukrainian prisoners. We always have to negotiate through non-very democratic countries, like this time it was United Arab Emirates, because Russia is not able to negotiate with democratic countries. It can only attack democracies. So this was done with the help of United Arab Emirates. And another extremely important thing, 48 of these Ukrainian prisoners of war were previously missing persons. So we had no information about them, and surely they had no information about what is going on in Ukraine. And I can only imagine what BS Russian propaganda was giving them in that extremely awful prison conditions. Remember to subscribe to the channel, demonstrate your solidarity and spread information about Russian war in Ukraine. So, if you look at these Russian prisoners of war, to me it seems that in Ukraine they start looking better. They eat good food. We introduce them to traditions, Ukrainian language, and they can watch TVs. Not only Ukrainian news, of course not Russian, that's obvious because there are no Russian news, there are only Russian lies, but they watch international news. Maybe some of them are a bit de-zombified, but I don't have much faith in Russians. Ukrainians always return in very bad conditions. They are always kept in the worst prisons. They suffer from malnutrition. There are some awful stories that are really difficult to read, how they try to survive, how they share apples, how they, I am sorry, breed worms because this is a form of food that they can find. And this is all once again demonstrates what is human life for Russia. And by the way, I also know that many of Ukrainian POWs will need rehabilitation. They will get everything they want from state, from their families. Yesterday, a woman returned and she got engaged on the very return home. So these are happy news, but once again, all of the Ukrainian prisoners of war, they are always surrounded with love, support and respect. And I doubt something similar awaits these Russian prisoners of war that were exchanged and yesterday also returned to Mother Russia. And if we look back in the times of the Second World War, Soviet prisoners of war were actually considered enemies of Soviet Union, and very often they were either executed or they were kept in prisons or labor camps. Look at the tragedy of a person, like it was captured, fighting for Soviet Union, then it was liberated to be captured again by its motherland. It's awful. It's monstrous. Russia, Soviet Union, and all of that stuff is extremely monstrous. So I'm very happy to know that 230 people returned. Maybe more will come, but of course, once again, Russia is not doing it just, and it's extremely complicated to negotiate. But there are other good news. Number one is that another Russian Su-34, is that an epidemic already? Russian Su-34 got on fire, set on fire, burned on the airfield in Chelyabinsk. And some of you remember that Chelyabinsk is also a city of a huge explosion on the tank building plant. So this Su, I liked one comment left below this article that perhaps it burned of shame. I think all Russia should burn of shame. Subscribe and share if you agree with me. So also perhaps that was our operation, but someone smoked again. Also, there were fires in Moscow, in the capital of the dying Soviet Empire, Russian Empire, but always Empire. No, not Empire, Ord. Let me know if you agree with me that Russia resembles Ord much more than even an evil empire. So, Moscow was on fire. They don't have electricity in 20 high-story apartment buildings, and it was minus 27 yesterday, so people felt what it is like to live in Ukraine during blackouts. Karma is instant. And also we've learned that today there were explosions in temporarily occupied Crimea. Ukrainian Air Force managed to destroy a command post and potentially an air defense system that was left on the peninsula. Anyway, I believe that Crimea will return back to Ukraine really soon, and after that, when we destroy their logistics, connections, supply chain, it will be much easier to return the rest of the territory. So remember to follow the updates so that you will see Ukrainian way to the victory. It is our only possibility, and we have to stay united, because once again Russia hates democratic world and it will try to destroy it. So better it will be us who will destroy Russian Federation, giving freedom to many new democratic states. Thank you once again for your kind words, support. Thank you for buying me coffees and becoming my patrons. I value these opportunities a lot. Remember to subscribe to my Instagram. I'm really active there, also Threads and Twitter, and we have a beautiful Discord community. All the links are below this video. And also we have a merch shop. Go check what items can work as good conversation starters. But most importantly, write to your representatives. Quarrel with those who doubt, try to persuade indifferent people, because this is one of the crucial moments in the 21st century. And if we want peaceful and normal world back, we have to stop Putin and unfortunately millions of those who support him. And we're doing that. Slava Ukraini!